Let's cross over to our wonderful, wonderful friends at La Falaise just before we head over to the news.
La Falaise Medical Laboratory, my preferred choice for professional and confidential medical laboratory services. La Falaise provides results for all medical tests. If it can't be done there, they will facilitate it through their international partners. Their main office in Roseau is open from 7:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Mondays to Fridays and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Home visits and emergency services are also available. Call 448-0100, WhatsApp 276-5213 or visit any of their other locations. Picard in Portsmouth, Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Marigot, Mondays and Wednesdays, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Or Grand Bay, every first and third Thursday, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. La Falaise Medical Laboratory, my choice, your choice, our choice.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
Good evening and welcome to DBS Evening News. I am Alian Christopher. In the headlines, over 69 million dispersed for the construction of resilient homes under the Housing Recovery Project. In news from the region, CARICOM leaders arrived in Jamaica today following Hurricane Melissa, and internationally, South Africa to refuse charter flights of Palestinians over fears of cleansing agenda. That's the headlines, the details when we return.
This Christmas, Flow's making the season merrier when you add postpaid to internet. Unwrap a new smartphone for only $10. Plus, we're giving you 35% off your mobile bill and win even more goodies with our Spin the Wheel Christmas promotion. This Christmas, the rewards are on us. Add postpaid to your internet plan today in-store or visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply. Flow, we keep your Christmas rhythm flowing.
DBS News.
Welcome back to the DBS Evening News. Minister of State in the Ministry of Public Works, Public Utilities and Digital Economy, Shakira Lockett-Hippolyte says over $69 million has been disbursed for the construction of resilient homes under the World Bank-funded Housing Recovery Project. 386 have been built under the project. 22 new resilient homes constructed under the project were handed over to homeowners during a ceremony this afternoon in Bellevue, Chopin.
Over $69 million was distributed across 386 beneficiaries. One of the major challenges solved under this project was land ownership. Many beneficiaries did not meet the requirements for clear title. Through this program, the ministry regularized land titles for 170 families, free of cost. Government covered the surveying and registration fees, so they could receive their titles and not miss out on this opportunity of a brand new home. At the beginning, each beneficiary was to receive only $50,000. But that was not enough to build secure, comfortable homes that met our resilience vision. With the leadership of the Prime Minister, we revised the grant upward to $141,000, with final units costing $151,000. This was necessary. Building back better demands real investment.
Minister of State in the Ministry of Public Works, Public Utilities and Digital Economy, Shakira Lockett-Hippolyte. She represented Housing Minister Melissa Popon-Skerrit. Meantime, Finance Minister Dr. Irving McIntyre, who represented the Prime Minister, says the Housing Recovery Project has enabled the people of Dominica to rebuild after Hurricane Maria.
When we speak about development in this country, we are not speaking about abstract concepts. We are talking about families having a safe place to sleep at night. We are talking about mothers no longer worrying about the strength of their roofs or the stability of their walls. We are talking about children able to study. elders able to live peacefully, and individuals able to focus on their goals because their basic need for safe shelter has been met. The Housing Recovery Project, launched after Hurricane Maria, was executed with the support of dedicated partners, and it ensured that the people of Dominica could rebuild after devastating loss. Although the project officially concluded earlier this year, the result of that investment continued to be realized as we see today. These 22 homes form part of the thousands of housing interventions delivered by this administration over the past several years. They represent thoughtful planning, responsible governance, a strategic investment in the well-being of our citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of Dominica is not easing up on its housing agenda. As you have seen, this is not a one-off intervention. This is a sustained, methodological, and deliberate program. This administration has made housing a central pillar of national development because we understand that safe shelter is a human right and a foundation for economic and social advancement.
Finance Minister Dr. Irving McIntyre, representing Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit at this afternoon's ceremony. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Housing recognized 3 local contractors involved in the project: Ronan David, Sherman Boston, and Yankee Oliver. The ministry will award 10 top local contractors of the project during a series of handing over ceremonies which will take place this week. The Ministry of Education has described the late Claudia Toussaint as a dedicated educator. Toussaint passed away on November 10, 2025 at the Grand Bay Health Center. In a statement, the ministry expressed its deep sorrow and sense of loss, extending condolences to families, friends, colleagues and students of Miss Claudia Toussaint, who served as the deputy principal at Pierre Charles Secondary School. The ministry noted that Miss Toussaint was a prominent figure at Pierre Charles Secondary, having joined the staff in 2002 and dedicating her entire career to the institution. The statement emphasized that Miss Toussaint's unwavering commitment and passion for education inspired all who knew her. The Ministry of Education further stated that she embodied the qualities of a selfless educator, consistently prioritizing the interest and well-being of her students above all else. She was not only a teacher but also an administrator and mentor, providing steadfast support, genuine encouragement, and invaluable life lessons that shaped character and inspired futures, and that her profound impact is evident in the love and respect she earned from the entire school community. The ministry acknowledged that the passing of Miss Toussaint leaves a void that will be deeply felt. However, her legacy is one that will endure. The ministry also emphasized its solidarity with the staff and students of the Pierre Charles Secondary School as they navigate this difficult time. In other news this evening, the Ministry of Education has announced that 15 Dominican students were ranked among the top 10 in the 2025 regional merit lists of CXC. Local CXC registrar is Magali Celestine.
For CSEC, Godisha Joseph of the Northeast Comprehensive School ranked in 7th position for physical education and sports. Christine Defoe of the Pierre Charles Secondary School ranked in the 3rd position for textile, clothing, and fashion. For CCSLC, Sari Bruni of the Castlebrook Secondary School ranked in 6th position for digital literacy. For English, Michael Lawrence of the Castlebrook Secondary School ranked 1st position in the region. For French, the Arthur Waldron SDA Academy captured the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd places in the region. Shalia Valmo came 1st, Laureline Valerie in 2nd position, and Khalid Collier in 3rd position. The Dominica Grammar School also excelled in French, and Gabrielle George emerged in 6th position, while Divina Telemark from the Arthur Waldron Academy came in 8th position, and Erlens Valmir, also of the Arthur Waldron SDA Academy, emerged 10th position.
Ms. Celestine says students of the Arthur Waldron SDA Academy and Dominica Grammar School excelled in mathematics. And we do apologize, we do not have... We can go now to Joseph Fadu.
For mathematics, Adeja Shillingford of the Dominica Grammar School and Khalid Collier of the Arthur Waldron SDA Academy topped the region, and they shared the first position. Naima Sorrendo and Catriel Stedman of the Dominica Grammar School, Zayden Cornelius and Kiani Seaman of the Portsmouth Secondary School, and Michael Lawrence of the Castlebrew Secondary School all were ranked in the 8th position. Sari Bruni of the Castlebrew Secondary School ranked in the 2nd position in the region for social studies. The Ministry of Education congratulates all of our candidates who continue to excel every year at both the CSEC and CCSLC exams. Job well done.
And that is local CXC Registrar Magali Celestine. The Dominica Youth Business Trust, the DYBT, has embarked on a week-long celebration of entrepreneurship with the official launch of Global Entrepreneurship Week 2025. The week of activities were launched under the theme Together We Build. OMS Administrator at the DYBT is Diane Laronde.
We have radio appearances on Saturday, November 22nd, from 2 to 3 p.m., the Dominica Youth Business Trust will appear on DBS Radio for the Youth Vibes program to discuss GW and the importance of entrepreneurship. During the broadcast, the EDO, that's the Entrepreneur Development Officer, will engage with young entrepreneurs live on the air. On Tuesday, November 18th, from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., 2 past DYBT clients will be featured on the Nature Isle Business Buzz, NDFD program, Q95, to share their experiences, success stories, and insights gained through the entrepreneurial journey. Now we have the DYBT school tour. It will be from the November 18th to the 19th. DYBT officers will visit several schools, including Trafalgar Primary, Rosa Primary, Girardel Primary, Northeast Comprehensive School, and the Convent High School. This outreach initiative aims to inspire students at all levels by promoting entrepreneurship and encouraging early interest in business development. Now we have a webinar live on Zoom and Facebook, Navigating Imports and Logistics for Business in Dominica. It will be scheduled for Thursday, the November 20th from 6 p.m. This virtual session, hosted in collaboration with the Customs Division, the Small Business Support Unit, the Investment Dominica Authority, and King Ocean Services, will provide practical guidance for entrepreneurs on navigating important processes, logistics, and supply chain management. Last but not least, we will be hosting our 21st graduation and award ceremony on Wednesday, the 26th of November at the St. Alphonsus Parish Hall. The Trust will celebrate the accomplishments of its newest graduates and recognize outstanding entrepreneurs for the Business Plan Innovation Awards. As we embark on this week of activities, we reaffirm our commitment to nurturing a strong and vibrant entrepreneurial culture in Dominica.
OMS Administrator at DYBT, Diane Laronde. Meanwhile, Minister of State in the Ministry of Culture, Youth, Sports and Community Development, Oscar George, challenged entrepreneurs to be an inspiration to their colleagues.
As we mark this Global Entrepreneurship Week 2025, I challenge every entrepreneur to reach out, to share an idea, support a colleague, or inspire someone to start something new. Let this week be about collective growth and realizing that Dominica's progress depends on how well we build together. To entrepreneurs, you are the heartbeat of the economy, the drivers of innovation and champions of resilience. Your courage and your creativity continue to shape a more dynamic Dominica. It is therefore with great pleasure that I officially declare Global Entrepreneurship Week open 2025.
Minister of State in the Ministry of Culture, Youth, Sports and Community Development, Oscar George. Finance Minister Dr. Irving McIntyre has called on the police to exercise their duties with integrity and respect for human rights. His call came as the police launched Police Week this morning. He said government will continue to work with the police.
We recognize the challenges you face. Despite these, you continue to show up, respond to calls, investigate incidents, protect our children, our women, our seniors, and our communities. For that, you have my personal respect and appreciation. The government trusts you with the responsibility of upholding law and order. We expect you to act with integrity, respect for human rights, fairness and professionalism, and in turn, we pledge to assist you to do that. We also urge you to continue enhancing community police partnerships to aid your efforts, recognizing that effective policing must be supported by community trust and cooperation.
And that is Dr. McIntyre representing Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. Meantime, Minister for National Security, Rayburn Blackmore, has called for a national approach to address gun crimes in Dominica.
We, acknowledging the fact that gun crimes is the single most dangerous threat to our civility and our national security, your government has again ensured that we have provided the resources for the police. Much more had to be provided, but Rome was not built in a day. Again, a specialized unit was established for the purpose of investigating and apprehending suspects with a view of getting them where they belong, as stock farm. It's important that we confront this gun violence as a community and as a country. The government cannot do it alone, and therefore it requires an all-encompassing effort from the various organs and agencies of socialization. The government by itself cannot do it, and we have to go back to the homes and to ensure that the homes provide us primary socialization to our children. We have to go back to the schools for the reinforcement of core values, the churches, the peer groups, and all those various agencies are critical in molding and building character and useful and wholesome individuals.
Minister for National Security, Rayburn Blackmore. The police attended Mass at La Plaine on Sunday as part of Police Week. An exhibition at police headquarters today and a gospel concert tomorrow evening are part of activities for Police Week. That's the national focus. Regional and international development comes up next.
This Christmas, Flow's making the season merrier when you add postpaid to internet. Unwrap a new smartphone for only $10. Plus, we're giving you 35% off your mobile bill and win even more goodies with our Spin the Wheel Christmas promotion. This Christmas, the rewards are on us. Add postpaid to your internet plan today in store or visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply. Flow, we keep your Christmas rhythm flowing.
DBS News.
In news from the region, Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness, has said today he welcomed a CARICOM Goodwill mission to Jamaica for a post-Hurricane Melissa tour. The delegation included the Prime Ministers of Barbados, Guyana, Grenada and Antigua, along with representatives from CARICOM, the Development Bank of Latin America, the World Bank, the Inter-American Development Bank and other regional partners. Holness said Jamaica appreciated the solidarity shown, adding that the visit reaffirmed that the country does not stand alone. He said the mission aimed to support recovery efforts through partnership, unity and shared purpose as Jamaica works to rebuild communities and strengthen its resilience to future challenges. Internationally, South Africa has said it does not want to receive any more chartered flights carrying Palestinians days after the controversial arrival of 153 passengers from Gaza in the country. Many aspects of their arrival remain unclear and disputed. South Africa's Foreign Minister Ronald Lamola said the flight was part of a clear agenda to cleanse Palestinians out of Gaza and the West Bank. The Israeli authorities have not responded to this allegation. However, they said that South Africa had previously agreed to receive the 153 Palestinians. That's the news for this evening. The evening sports report comes up next with Gavin Richards. I've been the presenter of the news, Alian Christopher, saying good evening.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Well, good evening. I'm Gavin Richards with the DBS Evening Sports. Let's tip off with netball news as Delisle Julian had a game-high 26 goals from 29 attempts to lead the defending Sports Division Secondary Schools under 20 netball champions, the Convent High School, to a huge win over the Pierre Charles Secondary School as that tournament continued this afternoon at Windsor Park. Well, the Convent High School took the match 47-17. Delisle Julian got 26 from 29. Norris Didi 11 from 17 and Chloe Gregoire 10 from 15 attempts. While for the Pierre Charles Secondary School, we had Shakira Hilaire, who made 14 out of her 19 attempts, and Keana Hilaire 2 from 3. Meantime, the Convent High School under 16 team, well, they started off their title defense of their championship on a losing note as they went down to the Pierre Charles Secondary School this afternoon. The Pierre Charles Secondary School won that tough battle 13-12. For the Pierre Charles Secondary School, Keana Hilaire, she had 8 from 17 attempts, and Kelani Moranci 5 from 9. While for the Convent High School, Mikia Williams scored 3 from 5, and Chloe Gregoire 9 from 13 attempts. In some more sports news, or news I should say, from the Sports Division organized activities, we saw the Dominica Grammar School defeating the Northeast Comprehensive in the secondary schools under 17 football program. We had Ellen Pascal getting a brace as the Dominica Grammar School won that game 6-0. Dominica Grammar School, of course, got 5 goals in the second half as they walked away with the comfortable win. Carlick Prevost, Dwight Walsh, Micah Etienne and TJ Lewis also scored a goal each for the grammar school. Here now is the grammar school head coach, Joel Hamilton.
Well, I think the boys that displayed a good level of skill today. I mean, that was more looking like DGS football. I still think we have to do a little more in the defense in terms of being a little more tight in the midfield. But I think the way the movements of the ball was quite okay for now. But we have a lot of work to keep on doing. I mean, the season is still young, so we'll see what can happen. At least we can make the playoffs.
You had about 5 unanswered goals in the second half. What do you think might have contributed to that?
Well, I think the players on the halftime talk, I think they understood that we were crowding up the middle of the field too much. So they were creating more space, and then the midfield was supporting more. Because first half the midfield was just staying back with the defense, but after we created a little more space, so then now we could get the passes between and through the lines.
And that's the Dominica Grammar School head coach, Joel Hamilton. Well, the Dominica Grammar School, they've moved to the top of the under-17 division with 9 points. Well, the football tournament continues tomorrow with the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School taking on the Pierre Charles Secondary School at the Newtown Savannah from 2:30 in the afternoon. Let's move to some cricket news as a half-century for Dione Roll as the Kalinago Blasters registered their 4th win in the Central Cooperative Credit Union Dominica Cricket Association Intermediate League on the weekend. The Blasters took down the Police at the Geneva playing field. Blasters made 171 for 6 in 25 overs, batting first with Diony Roll getting 50, Neo Davis 45 and Yannick Jean-Baptiste 40. Dorian John, he got 2 for 19 for the Lawmen, while the Police chasing 172. They could only get 116 for 7 in their 25 overs. Gary Masler got 41 and we had Aaron Burton getting 25. Darren Tusa, he picked up 2 for 28 and M. Frederick 2 for 12 for the Blasters team. The Blasters won that game by 55 runs. In some other results, well, an all-round effort from Clemson LeBlanc guided the Gladiators to a win over the Casuals. Gladiators got 153 for 5 in 25 overs batting first. Clemson LeBlanc, he top scored with 45. And we had Carbon taking 3 for 26 for the Casuals team. Casuals in reply were all out for 132 with Keoma Telemark top scoring with 22 runs. And we had Clemson LeBlanc picking up 3 for 20. Clement Masler 2 for 14. The Gladiators won that game by 21 runs. Still with cricket news, the West Indies batsman Sherfin Rutherford feels that the team didn't manage its run chase properly as they went down to New Zealand in the first ODI on the weekend. While the West Indies, chasing 270 to win, were restricted to 262 for 6 in their 50 overs. Rutherford, who broke his poor run of form with a half-century, says too much was left for the back end in the run chase.
I think moving forward, I think it's important for us to rotate the strike. We know that New Zealand is going to keep bowling back into the wicket, so I think, as a team, I think we need to find a way of getting off strike, and I think once we can get off strike, I think we're going to be in a winning position. Our plan is definitely to set it up for the back end, but I think sometimes we miscalculate by leaving too much for the back end. So I think for us, it's more important in the middle phase from 11 to 40, where if we can get more singles and even try and get more boundaries in between, I think it's going to definitely help us in the back end. I think we bowled pretty well. If we look back at the game, I think we gave a few chances to Darren Mitchell. I think if we had taken it, it would have been a better game. But all in all, he batted very well. And I think as a fielding unit as well, I think that's one area we need to, look into and try and take those off chances.
And that's the West Indies batsman Sherfin Rutherford. Well, the second one-day international between the West Indies and New Zealand will take place tomorrow night. In some domino news, well, we had Brigady Stars maintaining their unbeaten run in the Julius Timothy Independence Domino League as that competition continued on the weekend. League coordinator Delvin Esprit.
What a lovely weekend it was in the best domino league on island in the Julius Timothy Domino competition. The unbeaten Brigady Stars from Peebush continued to do well with victory over Rosima White City and Roadside. Final scores, Brigady Stars 3,026, White City 2,116, and 3,032, Roadside 1,743. Brutal Forces 3,002, BS Stars 1,876, and 3,008, Warriors 2,634. Bad Side 3,026, Focus 1,692, Babdad 3,004, Wake Up Stars 2,423, Rosima White City 3,013, Roadblock 2,692, Marcy Square 3,001, Roadblock 2,116, Warriors 3,023, Wake Up Stars 2,749, Focus 3,029, West Coast Square Junior Jerry Adrian Valiance 2,600, NATO Full Effects 3,013, Non-Plus 2,230, and Marcy Square 3,001, Itasi Stars 2,273. Delvin Esper reporting.
In some volleyball news, well, Dominica took down the host country Antigua to win the 2025 ECVA Under-23 Men's Volleyball Championship last night. Dominica beat Antigua 3-1 in the finals, winning 25-15, 20-25, 25-17, and 25-19. We had Jimal Pelte top scoring with 18 points. He had some 12 kills, 5 blocks, and 1 ace. Sharon Vidal had 17 points with 13 kills, 3 blocks, and 1 ace. A coach of the team, Itoma James, says he was proud of Dominica's showing at the games.
Well, one of the key factors I think that we had was, we were a much more experienced team than some of the other teams because our players, we have been traveling to these competitions for a while we have some really young players. They have been playing at the senior level for some time now. So the experience shone through. When the hard times came, we didn't drop our heads. We just continued playing, and I think that was a very big thing. And the guys showed all the fight that they had. Well, for this game, I mean, we had the advantage of actually knowing our opponents. We got to see them. In our first game, we didn't know who they were. They were relatively new players to us. But we got a chance to look at them, look at the film, see what we did wrong, and try to just come back and work on them, improve on the different things, and execute. And I think the team did a very good job at executing. They followed all the instructions, and it paid off. Well, for this entire game, at no point did we feel that we were under pressure to lose this game. It was always our own to take. I mean, we had just some small lapses in judgment. Antigua put up just a little bit more fight in that second set, but at no point did we drop our heads or ever thought that this was a game that we could lose. Well, guys, I mean, have just continued growing from game to game, strength to strength. Each game that we played, I think we may have some work, to do with our blocking. We have the heights. We can be very dominant. We can be a lot more dominant than we are in the center of the game blocking, and I think we can just do some work on that to improve that. But I think the guys did very well tonight. Like I said, they followed all the instructions and did what I think was necessary to win the game.
And as the head coach of the national under-23 men's volleyball team, Itoma James, individual awards went out to Taj John Jules, who was the best outside hitter. Jimal Pelty got the best middle blocker award. Miguel Fontaine, the best digger and best libero. And Sharon Vidal got the best opposite and was also named the MVP of the tournament. Head of the Special Olympics, Dominica Ainsworth Irish, says that the Dominica team did well. Well, his comments as Dominica were crowned the first ever champions in Division 3 of the Special Olympics 3-on-3 basketball tournament held in Guadeloupe for Special Olympics unified sports. Well, Dominica, they won gold over Antigua and Barbuda and won silver. And that should be Dominica won the gold medal with Antigua and Barbuda winning silver and Guadeloupe getting the bronze.
Yes, indeed. I must tell you, Alian, that, of course, we took part in the first ever Caribbean Special Olympics 3x3 basketball in Guadeloupe. And Dominica was placed in Division 3. And, of course, we did very well. We played about 8 games, and we became trumps. After the division in, we had to play Antigua and, of course, Guadeloupe to get, the champion team. And we defeated Antigua 16-2. And, of course, we defeated Guadeloupe 16-7. And Dominica got the gold medal. I must tell you that the athletes shown a lot of potential and prowess. And indeed, we had 2 unified athletes. That is 2 athletes, one from the SMA and one from the convent, the Alicia you just spoke to. And, they really gave a good account of themselves. I was extremely delighted to see the level of play. Having practiced for only 3 months, we have never had basketball in our program, but we were invited to this tournament by the officials in Guadeloupe and Jamaica, and we took part. And I can tell you the camaraderie and the spirit. Even my own intellectually challenged athletes, they showed tremendous prowess. And that is something we have to continue in our Special Olympics training here in Dominica. So I'm extremely delighted. The outcome was good. The reception was good. The hospitality, we were well treated, and everything went smashing. And full marks to the athletes and their parents who supported them throughout.
And that's head of Special Olympics Dominica Ainsworth Irish. And finally this evening, captain of the national football team, Travis Joseph, says his players have to take ownership following their defeats to French and Dutch St. Martin in the CONCACAF series in St. Kitts. Well, Dominica went down 3-2 to Dutch St. Martin on Saturday in St. Kitts. Travis Joseph got 2 goals in the game, but the Dominican defense was forced to pay for some costly errors.
Of course, we are disappointed, very, very disappointed, because these are basic things, man, for us to just keep our heads in the game and play simple football, and yet again we are making blunders.
What are some of the areas you think we might have lost the game tonight?
Well, definitely we lost the game in the defense, I would say, because I think there we had 3 blunders and gave up 3 goals. As I said in the first interview, we're always paying for our mistakes, and those blunders were basic. It's just basic communication, and we have to be true to ourselves, and if we are not, we wouldn't improve. So we have to take ownership and come better.
Travis, apart from that, you had 2 goals, so it looks like you're really trying your best, to keep Dominica in the game there. How hurting is this defeat?
Yeah, it's really hurting, man, because, the forwards were trying their best. Forwards were doing their best. The first game, the forwards wasn't the sharpest, but this game at least we get some goals. But as I said, blunders again. Every time we came back, we didn't have a moment to breathe. We were giving up one again. So it was really tough.
Travis, we have until March to get back into things. How do we regroup?
Well, as a team, we have to unite and have a positive approach to everything and work on our mistakes for sure, because we really have to go back and look at the games and be responsible. A lot of guys have to take ownership to get better, because as I say, if we don't take ownership, we won't grow as a team. So everyone has to hold their end and win their battles. So we have to keep our head up and come back stronger.
And that's the captain of the men's senior national football team, Travis Joseph. Well, the CONCACAF series will resume in March of 2026 with Dominica taking on St. Kitts, and Dominica will